If you were called to give testimony at a function or even in court, at an event, those that called you expected you to say something authentic, something that they would believe as true, or something that should be true. Because you know, if you are called as a witness in court and you go there to tell a lie, and it is discovered that actually it was a total lie that you told, it's a serious crime. Because when you are a witness, people expect that first of all, you know what you're talking about, that you were there, you saw what happened, you saw who did what, you can maybe even name whoever you saw there and things like that. And that is what they expect you to come and say when you are called as a witness, or as they say, to testify. Jesus in today's gospel talks about testifying or giving testimony, and he refers to John as one who came to give testimony of Jesus himself. Why is Jesus bringing into the picture John the Baptist? If you have been following the readings from the past few days, Jesus has been having a heated conversation with the Jews, with the Pharisees, with the scribes, with those that want to bring him to death. And in his conversation, he has been trying to explain to them about his identity as one that has been sent by the Father. He says, there is nothing that I do that my Father has not told me to do. I and my Father are one. When the Jews hear him speak about himself in that manner, all they see is blasphemy. And at that time, blasphemy, well, maybe even during our time, but at that time it was even more serious, that blasphemy was a crime that you even deserved to be stoned to death. You cannot compare yourself to God. You can't claim to be God. And when they hear Jesus talk about himself in this manner, all they hear is blasphemy. And this is reason enough for them to give him the cross to carry. So Jesus has been having this conversation, and it continues to heat up and heat up and heat up until today. Maybe just to help them understand what he has been explaining to them, he brings into the picture John the Baptist. And towards the end, he also talks about Moses, because these people regard Moses and his writings as what we can say sacrosanct, as authentic, as this is the thing. And he tells them, he's challenging them and saying, he says, if you believed what Moses wrote, but why should you not believe me? Because Moses wrote of me. And again, of course, they don't take that lightly, because, how can he say that Moses wrote of him? It's just as good as saying, I am God, so believe in me as God, because Moses wrote of God. So it's a very confusing situation for them, and they don't just they can't just take it. They should immediately bring him to his death. For our own reflection today, I want to draw our attention to the aspect of John the Baptist, and this is what Jesus says about him. You sent to John, and he has borne me witness to the truth. Not that the testimony which I receive is from man, but I say this that you may be saved. He was a burning and shining lamp, and you were willing to rejoice for a while in his light. Jesus talks about Moses and John the Baptist in this manner, because first of all, these people regarded John as a prophet, as a very important person in their community, in their life. And he says, John gave an accurate testimony of me. He's using this language in order to help them understand his identity. Maybe you and I can identify ourselves with John in this picture. And the question that may help us to reflect on this is, what do you give testimony of? What do I give testimony of? What is the language that what language does my life speak to others? A testimony is supposed to be true. A witness gives a true testimony. A witness gives something authentic to those that need it. And this is what John did. And our whole life should be this exact testimony, that it should say something true about the one that we believe in, Jesus himself. And Jesus says he was a burning and shining lamp. That even ourselves are called to be the burning and shining lamp of our communities, of our families, of our society, so that through us, many people may come to the sure knowledge of who Jesus is in their life. You cannot be a disciple and not give testimony of the Jesus that you are a disciple of, the Jesus that you follow, the Jesus that you have believed in. Today we are called upon to be John the Baptist. And to be John the Baptist, we are called upon to give testimony, the authentic testimony of Jesus himself. We don't have to say anything for people to know that we believe in Jesus and that we are giving testimony of Jesus. It is through our attitude, our behavior, the things that we say to others, the things or how we treat other people. It is through that disposition that people will come to know that indeed this person is a true testimony of Jesus. What do you give testimony of? Or is your whole life a lie? Is your whole life just a false testimony? What do I give testimony of? Jesus says, speaks well of John the Baptist. Would he also speak well of you and me? We have to reflect on our lives and see if indeed we give the authentic testimony of the Jesus that we believe in. Otherwise, he would not use the same words that he uses about John the Baptist. Amen.